and welcome back to another video.
Match round 3.
Round 3. Fight.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah. Tell me, you grew up in the 90s?
Yeah. And we have the continuation of the Boreal and Ice Age.
Yeah. So all inclusive plus Ice Age cards are legal.
Mm-hmm.
Our January yearly thing that we do.
Yeah, yearly tradition. And we're gonna go straight into the mono black deck.
Yeah, we're playing two monocolor decks today, mono black and mono blue.
Yeah.
So this is Arnaud. We've seen him in the finals in other monthlies. You've seen him winning the finals in other monthlies. Mm-hmm. And here he's just basically playing his mono black deck. It's pretty much on theme, but he's got some Ice Age spice, which isn't spice. It's the wrong use of that word. That's the wrong use of that word.
Spice Age, you know, the ice.
Yeah. But historically speaking, though, Necropotence and Knight of Stromgald are featured in the same deck. You can watch some very old tournaments like Randy Bueller and Brian Davis, I think is his name, piloting Necropotence decks back in the day. Sleeveless, I might add.
Yeah.
And the Knight is just an improvement, right? From, is it the same thing? It's just extra copies of Order of the Ebon Hand, right?
Yeah.
Pro white +1/+0 and first strike for additional costs.
Which you decide to put in the sideboard instead. You put 3 copies in the sideboard if he's playing against maybe a mono white deck.
So Necropotence can be a bit of dangerous call, even though it's an amazing card, one of the best cards in the game. It's just dangerous in these formats because everyone knows that somebody wants to play Necro, so usually burn or aggressive decks show up more, so you have to be careful with the Necropotence, which we can see he is being careful slightly in his sideboard, right? With the Zuran Orb and the Ivory Tower, we noticed he can bring in versus burn decks if need be. But also, you were mentioning the Chains of Mephistopheles. For anybody who sees that and is wondering how it interacts with Necropotence, it is important to note that Necropotence is not card draw. It's you exile the cards from the top of your deck at the cost of 1 life, and then at the end of your turn you put them in your hand. So there's no drawing happening. So you can play Chains, punish your opponent's card draws, their brainstorms, and not get punished yourself. While keeping yourself up to date with your hands with Necropotence.
And this is an interesting take on a mono blue. I guess you call it like a brew.
A mono brew.
A mono brew. And
I think it revolves around Dandan and Phantasmal Terrain, right? So Dandan,
the 4/1.
4/1 for 2.
Yeah.
Can't attack unless your opponent has an island, so you use Phantasmal Terrain to turn their lands into islands, which can also act as a pseudo strip mine if you're playing mono black, for example.
Exactly, yeah.
So that could be interesting.
And interesting enough, he's got the energy flux, one main board. Just to mess with the opponents.
I kind of like it. I kind of like the Hurkyl's Recall as a main board instead. Like, after playing with it a little bit with some combo decks and stuff, it's interesting to have that card in your main Hurkyl's Recall. But energy flux is more of a permanent solution, so.
Yeah, maybe you're just worried about shop decks, heavy artifact creature decks in general.
Pretty good.
If the opponent's playing like a lot of Moxen.
Hurkyl's Recall is good if you want to like time twister them, artifact heavy opponent, Hurkyl's Recall on their end step and then time twister them or something.
Yeah, just like making them really pay for their.
I think this deck is missing Black Vice.
You think it's missing Black Vice?
In the sideboard, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe the side, yeah.
It seems like it's trying to be an aggressive, like not aggressive in the sense of aggro, but like it's trying to beat down and put damage in. So I would like to have seen, in the absence of red, I would have liked to have seen a color neutral card that does damage, and the first one that comes to mind is Black Vice. Like, you don't want Ankh of Mishra, you are a counterspell deck, so you want to play your lands every turn.
Yeah.
So I don't know, the one I can think about is Black Vice, but...
Yeah, like the Volcanic Eruption juxtaposed and Steel Artifact on the sideboard, I think should be like Black Vices, Like, you could have put 4 on the side.
Yeah. I mean, he has the Silent Blasts, which are obviously necessary without red, but I want to just point out, it's really nice to see the Teleria with the Serendib Djinn.
Yeah.
The 4-mana 5/6 that requires you to sacrifice a land on your turn, and if it's an island, you take 3 damage, I think.
Yeah.
So Teleria is a card that taps for blue, but isn't an island, so you can sack that freely. You can use it to cast the Djinn and then sack it freely to not take damage. That's quite nice.
Yeah, 1 turn. Yeah.
So I mean, we'll see. I mean, Phantasmal Terrain could pose a big problem for the.
Interesting note though, no Ice Age cards in that deck. Though. So
No, that's true. No
probably just playing it safe.
Is this a keep from our Dandan player? Because I didn't see an island in there. I saw a bunch of blue cards and no island.
I know.
Oh, okay. I didn't see the island, but there it is. Good. I was gonna say, is that just a strange keep?
Yeah.
6 blue cards, no.
Yeah. No land drop past turn.
Oh, that's you don't want to see Black Lotus out of a mono black player, especially when they've got Necropotence, because now he empties his whole hand, and then just draws 7 cards, right? Like if I'm Arnaud, I would
disgusting.
I think I would pay 7 life, maybe 8. This isn't a format where you're gonna do anything absolutely stupid to win the game the following turn, so you don't need to be drawing 12 cards with Necro. You can if you really want to sculpt a good hand and stuff like that, but it's okay. I would just, especially with Drain Light, I would just take my 7 or 8 cards, discard 1 to 2, maybe go to 9 cards maximum.
Yeah. Well, he paid 6, so...
Yeah, so he just wants to go to 7. But I think it's always correct to go above 7. Like, because you're going to end up with multiple lands that you're okay to discard. So, like, go to 7 or 8,
Yeah, so already hitting hard with the Phantasmal Terrain.
Yeah.
But, I mean...
But, yeah, the Chaos Orb can kill it if he needs the land.
Yeah.
But again, drawing 7 cards, 4 to 9 cards per turn means you're probably going to find your mana sources. Hold on, there's a cat that needs to be pet.
Yes, and I mean, the Ivory Tower already now he's going to gain back 3 life, just making the Necropotence that much better. Be able to just continue paying a bit life, like digging. But he needs to put like threats on the board to really. I mean, he's got what? You could probably maybe play the hymns if he gets them out. The Pump Knights, the Hippies, so...
Yeah, 4 Drain Life, interesting. Yeah, makes sense. Another Ivory Tower, that's really good.
Yeah.
Oh, see, there's no point in orbing your own terrain because, like, you're going to draw so many cards, gain the life back. That was a bit shaky. Did that rotate?
Oh, we have a sleeve discussion. Judge! Yeah, that's always
my opinion is if you're not going to take the cards out of the sleeve, then the sleeve counts. Like, I think you should force each other to take the cards out of the sleeves, but if you won't do that, then the sleeve should count. It's very easy to take the card out of the sleeve. And if you don't want to do that because you don't want to flip your card, just take another card. Like, take a common, modern card and flip it. Yeah, sleeve should count. I mean, in a world where we're doing gentleman flips anyways most of the time, I'm already just like, whatever you want to kill, just kill it. And on top of it, anyways, whatever.
That's why, like, usually when I play, like, it's in tournament settings, I always ask, okay, Chaos Orb, gentleman flip, or actual flip.
The Necropotence in the graveyard should be exiled. Anytime any cards get discarded while you have Necro in play, they have to get exiled.
Yeah, so...
So the Dandan, now if your opponent plays Phantasmal Terrain, should you assume Dandan? I think the answer is yes. And if that's the case, should the Chaos Orb not have been used aggressively on Alex's island, but rather saved for his Phantasmal Terrain to shut down this creature?
Maybe, but if he just plays the Pump Knight, it's going to kill the Dandan anyway, so...
No, it can get first strength, yeah. Well, it would need a third swamp, but yeah, essentially.
Well, you take 4 for 1 turn. See, now as the opponent, now I'm like, great.
Yeah. Well, Mono Blue has kind of always been a playable deck that struggles a bit.
Yeah, it's weird because blue has very powerful cards, but it seems like just playing blue kind of falls short.
Yeah.
And I've tried playing mono blue decks, different variations with different cards. Obviously you're playing with the power. You try to play an aggressive, control deck, and it just seems with the lack of balance and swords, it really kind of find the footing, to really get in there.
Control Magic is a great card, but it is very slow and clunky and easy to remove, right?
Yeah,
like the best cards in the formats deal with it.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so he's gonna take 4.
I wonder if you block that with the Hypnotic Spectre.
Serendipity.
I think I would have been inclined to block the 4-1, to be completely honest with you. Now, that
Well,
being
maybe
said,
now he might be more inclined to do so because of the Serendip.
Yeah, but see, just, I don't know. All that land, opponent attacks before doing anything. Something big is coming, I think, so. But, I mean,
But
also...
you see your opponent has, like...
3 cards in his hand?
No, 2 Ivory Towers with a
Oh, yeah. So, like...
So you gotta be like, you gotta...
Yeah, but see, the Ivory Towers make the Necro okay. It doesn't make Necro plus taking damage okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How does it feel to be amongst the few people where my cat will eat with her back to you? Usually she stands the other way to keep her eyes on people.
Oh, I feel privileged, thank you.
Good, yeah. Must be because of, you know.
Yeah.
You know. Anyways, back to the game.
Focus.
Focus, Michael.
Okay, so he's got the Pump Knight. The Rack.
But not able to give it first strike yet. Also, did he pay 3
No.
for? Did he pay 3 for that night? It looks like his strip mine is tapped. Oh no, he played the rack.
No, he played the Rack with it.
So that
Looks like another Dandan.
phantasmal image or something. Is that what it's called? That
Phantasmal Terrain.
no, that like
Phantasmal Forces.
yeah, that's the one.
I think it was on the sideboard. Was it not in the sideboard? Yeah.
Opting for the strip mine instead of the. I don't know about that. Don't you want to get rid of? I mean,
Maybe you just want to strip his factory.
I guess also he assumes my opponent is drawing a million cards. He'll find more swamps.
Yeah.
He won't be able to keep them off of black. Okay, that's a lot of power coming through.
Okay.
Oh, he's willing to trade and not wait for the first strike.
So I was gonna take 3.
See, like that's interesting, right? Because like I would have blocked with the hippie the previous turn and not blocked with the knight this turn, knowing that I've got first strike coming. So you'd be at the same position, except you'd have a creature that you could use recurringly.
I mean, still, I don't know. I think he's in a pretty good position, even with
Oh yeah.
the opponent with the.
Not losing, theoretically, like not really quote unquote losing any life, but getting to draw with Necro every turn is like the only way you really can punish this is with burn spells, which the blue deck doesn't have too many of. Now, of course, if Freet is a walking burn spell, and there's no terrors in the main board, right?
No, 2 terrors and 2 target banishings on the side.
Yeah, but see, that's another thing, right? Is like one of Arnaud's outs here to that that Serendip of Freet in the absence of terrors.
Time Twister and
yeah, that's really good.
Dandan, yeah.
Yeah, but see, like Arnaud needs to find Drain Life to deal with that, and Drain Life requires black mana sources. So I think the terrains are better served hitting black
swamps,
sources. So,
yeah. Well, no, Alex will be taking 2 from the rack next turn, plus the Serendip 3. So now he's got.
Oh, he's on his own clock. Yeah. Okay. Now
He's got his own clock going on.
That's true. Serendip of Freet is a way to deal with Serendip of Freet.
Yeah. Yeah, nothing. There's nothing more satisfying when the opponent plays a Serendip Freet, and then next turn you play a Maze of Ith,
Oh yeah.
and they're like, oh.
Even too in addition to that Savannah Lion, right? It's like you play a Savannah Lion that's so weak in the face of an Ifrit, but the Ifrit can't attack because you're just trading 3 damage, right? Like your Lion is 2 plus the 1, so like your 2/1 totally stops a 3/4 from existing.
Yeah. And the only format where Savannah Alliance is actually somewhat powerful
Yeah.
compared to like New Magic.
Oh yeah. Well, me and Ragavan, 1
Yeah.
mana 2/1 with text, like more text than the entire alpha set practically.
Yeah.
Okay, Dandan is making solid appearances. How long did it take you to realize that Dandan's art wasn't those 2 boats, but really the thing underneath the boats?
Yeah.
Took me forever to realize that there's a giant fish underneath those boats.
It's funny because
Another night, very good.
when Drew Tucker came to Montreal there a year and a half ago, or we went together, I was speaking to him about the artwork of Dandan,
Yeah.
and he's like, I don't understand why people gravitated towards that art in particular. He's like, I don't get it. Even the artist, he's like, I don't get this fascination with Dandan.
Honestly, that's probably like a recurring theme where artists make, you know, like 4, 5, 6, 8, 100 pieces of art.
Yeah.
They have one that they like don't really care for, they despise, that means nothing to them, and that's the one that all their fans like.
Like,
really
oh,
love,
this is the, you know, or the actor that makes that one like bad movie,
and everyone loves it,
and everyone's like super obsessed with it. You're like, why?
Yeah.
I guess that's, yeah.
All right, so Arnaud doing a very good job though with the hymns to keep Alex low on resources so that his creatures aren't really threatening enough. No attack from the Dandan.
Well, he's got the pump knight.
Yeah, but no way to get first strike yet.
Oh, maybe.
Like the thing is that Dandan will never attack again, so it might as well attack now where you can offer a trade, right?
Yeah. Those 2 ivory towers just absolutely delivering.
And he only got 2 in the deck, and he found them both. I mean, of course, like at this point in the game, he probably should have, but to have the first one on the first turn with the Dark Ritual, you know, like land, Dark Ritual, Black Lotus, Necropotence, Ivory Tower, Chaos Orb, no cards in hand, draw 7.
I think I would just concede. I'm like, game 2.
Yeah, these are the reasons to play with Necropotence, I'll tell you that much.
I love that card.
I'll tell you that much.
I'll tell you that much, kid. Ugh, disgusting.
Yeah.
2 islands off it. Yeah.
When you're like,
no,
I'm gonna keep cards in my hand so I can beat Black Vice. I mean the rack. Nope.
So now he's gonna lose. Well,
Losing 4 life now.
4 life per turn. And
Arnold's just casually drawing the 80 million.
Can I draw 7 cards, please?
Yeah. See, when your opponent says I'm gonna draw 7, you need to go. I'm gonna incinerate you. Lightning bolt, chain lightning, incinerate.
Yeah, I guarantee he would not be as aggressive with the Necropotence if he was playing against the burn deck.
Yeah, like we saw in our first matchup with Max in the burn deck. Would be very happy to be seeing Necropotence.
Okay.
But like not even drain life is so good, right? If you drain life,
yeah, if you drain life, you can just drain life past turn and.
Well, drain life I think puts a solid end to the game, right? Like I mean, the game's probably already over a few turns ago, but if he drain life's that if free, like forget about it.
Okay, he's probably.
Yeah, here it comes. Here
it comes.
But just go all in, yeah, all the way. You could probably even Ifrit his face instead of him. Yeah. Ifrit his face. Drain life is face. Yeah, not even the Ifrit, right?
Yeah.
The Ifrit will kill him itself. Don't waste it on that. Arnaud throwing those phantasmal terrains like they didn't mean anything all game.
Go punch sand, kid. Here you go. Go stand in the corner.
Take your cards back. I don't know. I mean, I don't even really know how to evaluate that game since Mono Blue did Island Go and the Mono Black deck literally had the nut. So like, the only way to really compete versus the nut is to.
It's like, you know, doing this monstrous first move, you know, and then just like
7 cards in play on turn 1. Well, 7 cards used. You draw 7. Like, what the shit? And then your opponent goes land go. I mean, I think he had ancestral, but still, like, I'd rather have him.
Yeah, I mean, just the speed of like the turn ones, you know, it's like a drag race at the quarter mile. One's like a supercar, and then you show up with a Civic. You know, it's just like, what do you think is going to
win? Don't disrespect the Civic community. You know how.
Oh boy. All right.
You must be a Jeep driver. It's probably even worse.
I used to own a Civic, actually.
Yeah.
5 years.
It's probably even worse, though, to disrespect the Jeep community than it is to disrespect the Civic community.
Yeah. We're walking on the
What's
in a dangerous line?
yeah? What's that thing somebody put on your car, like a fellow Jeep owner, like
Duck.
yeah, it's like
Yes,
it's like a thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Does that exist for any other cars? I never heard of that before.
No.
All right.
I don't
Well,
think so.
Arnaud again just came to doing like classic mono black things, right?
Yeah.
It's either oh man, it's so crazy actually when you add Necropotence to this deck because then your turn 1 Dark Ritual 3 drop is like it's either hippie or necro. It's like
Yeah, you get to play 2.
that's good.
You have like 2 options, like
Yeah. Energy Flux, not doing anything. That's an instant. Oh well, I guess he wants to deal with black. Actually, maybe not. Actually, actually, there's 3 Ivory
Right.
Tower. I didn't see that other Ivory Tower in the deck picture. But yeah, no, there's actually a decent amount of artifacts here. It's not crazy to keep the energy fluxes in. What else would he have brought? The forces are on the side. Maybe the volcanic. Does this volcanic eruption, does it hit flying creatures?
no. I know it's something with mountains. It's been so long. Scratch that. No, it's been so long.
You could bring boomerangs in. Boomerang a hippie. You know, Dark Ritual a hippie and then boomerang the hippie. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's a bit slow, but it's pretty good.
So him to Torag being played. And
Oh, he hit
Laria,
Dandan.
yeah.
What did he hit? Dandan and what? I can't see the glare.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It's hard focusing on 2 computer screens. We're going back and forth, but he still has the hippie.
yeah. The thing I find about these mono black decks though is that like when they do this, it feels so impossible to beat them.
He's gonna boomerang.
Yeah, because just it's all I had left. But like the thing is really like mono black decks, black white decks, or like dead guy ale, so to speak. They really have to, like the sequence of cards that they draw have to be correct because there's no manipulation. Now when you introduce Necropotence, it changes that a little bit. But like if you don't have the right sequence of cards, the right time, like it matters more how the deck draws, I find, than how you play the cards.
Yeah.
Which is why it feels bad to like lose against those decks, but they have a really high like dopamine level when you're playing them because of how good it feels when those things align. So the pull to play them is strong for the right reasons, and the hatred to lose against them is equally as valid.
I remember when I was playing heavily playing with Stasis at one point. You know, when everything's going right, just that rush of like you're just having all those components locking in everything. Where your opponent's like struggling and you just have like all the nuts and bolts to,
Yeah.
you know, and then so that dopamine is like really high, and then when you're just like losing, it's equally frustrating. You should know.
4 Howling Mines and draw 8 Power Sinks.
Yeah. Okay, so he's playing the Lotus. Okay.
Yeah, Arnaud's just been exploding with most of his plays all of this game. That's a good top deck.
Yeah. But I mean,
But yeah, same-
clockwise,
yeah, it's like-
still...
Same thing as the Savannah line, right?
Yeah.
Like we both deal 3 damage.
Ooh,
Oh my god.
disgusting. And swinging in, and taking 2.
That looked like a cheer from Arnaud. Does that mean he top decked that?
Probably.
Oh yeah. This is one of those situations where if you keep drawing your Arabian Nights cards, you just cry.
And especially, yeah, because he's got the Dandans, he's got the
Oh yeah, this is an Arabian Nights feast, right?
Yeah, so he's just like... Yeah,
All the creatures.
pretty much.
Well, you can play the Jinn, the Mahamodi Jinn.
Yeah, the
So
Mahamoti.
he's relying on
yeah.
Factory Jinn, Control Magic, and Psyblast. It's not impossible, but it's not looking good. Double him.
So she's got the rock now. Ugh, disgusting.
Oh
So
yeah.
now
I
it's
feel
like he has to either wait 3 turns just to even, if he doesn't want to take damage.
Oh, but then the Dandan whatever he keeps in his hand gets eaten by the hippie.
Yeah.
It's quite the machine, the mono black deck, though. At the end of the day.
Oh, you have to respect it. I mean, it is quite powerful.
Oh yeah, Energy Flux. That's right.
Where's the energy flux? Oh, it's him. Yeah.
It's the glare card, right?
Yeah, I guess you could probably get rid of the... I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, I guess. Okay.
Yeah, I think the city in the bottle was the right call.
Yeah. Because he's going to take the 3 damage.
Yeah, this is 7 damage coming through now. 3 from the rack and then 4 from the beats. Even if he draws another free top to top, it's like not that great. It blocks a hippie. Yeah.
Okay, so he's just gonna pay 2 for the.
So, looks like Arnaud's going to continue his streak. Obviously, we're not seeing the games that aren't on camera, but he's been doing pretty good on camera. So
Yeah, he's been doing pretty good on camera. He won a monthly a couple months back, so he's been.
yeah, we got it.
Yeah, and that's the
Concede
game.
off the top.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it just kind of looked like it was just destined for Arnaud to win. To win here, he got really the better starts, the better hands, the better
Exactly.
card selection, the better threats.
Overall, he just was like the better. He drew better.
And honestly, this is an interesting showing of how Phantasmal Terrain really couldn't screw up the mono black deck.
Yeah.
So like,
I think it's a much better card when the opponent's playing different colors versus a monocolor deck. Because you can kind of screw up like dual
Right,
lands.
that's true, that's true.
You can screw up their mana sources. You can kind of
yeah.
play with it, but it's kind of like
Well, the reason why I think it's also good though against mono black is just because they have so many black cards, right? To cast the cards, they
Yeah.
require multiple swamps, so it's kind of taxing in the same way as having multiple colors. Like you really have to have those colors.
yeah. If you play Underworld Dreams, you have to
Yeah.
have the 3 block. If
Yeah.
you play
Dark Ritual. helps a
Dark
lot, though.
Ritual is a really
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we didn't see Chains of Mephistopheles being played, but we did get to see Necropotence, and I'm very happy with it.
No, we got a very good showing of Necropotence.
Oh, yeah.
So that's good to have on camera.
Yes, and I'm excited to see what's going to be in the next video, round 4.
It's gonna be the finals, yeah.
Yeah, so come watch us in the next video. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff.
All the juice.
Yes.
All that juice. Okay.
See you in the next one.
See you. Bye.